Should Windsor's EC Row costs be shifted to Toronto?
We think the provincial government is listening to us.
Debate grows as more cities push the province for takeover deals. Sneeze City.
My nose is itchy, my eyes are itchy, my eyes get redder.
Why Windsor's Canada's worst place for allergy sufferers. And from news desk to recovery.
Another 10 years sounds pretty good, but another 15 or 20 sounds even better.
Former longtime CTV anchor on life after his cancer diagnosis.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Windsor taxpayers are footing a multi-million-dollar bill each year to maintain the EC Row Expressway. But could that cost be shifted to the province? It is a question gaining momentum tonight. CTV's Michelle Molesky is here to explain. Michelle.
Yeah, Stephanie, London, St. Thomas and Ottawa are all asking for similar municipal road responsibilities to be uploaded to the province. EC Row was built in the 1970s and then downloaded to Windsor in the 90s. This whole idea of sending that bill back to Toronto has come up from time to time, and tonight there might be renewed interest because of those efforts being made to our east. Can Windsor ship EC Row expenses east to Toronto? It's a subject that comes up from time to time. For instance, Mayor Drew Dilkens referenced the financial burden just a few weeks ago at a news conference on local road projects. Dilkens has said in the past EC Row costs around $10 million every year, and the NDP pledged to share the costs if elected in last year's provincial election campaign.
I feel like this is actually getting a lot of traction and is really close to coming to a positive resolution.
In March, London asked the MTO to take over Highbury Avenue, which is a 4- and 2-lane highway up to 100 kilometers per hour. Now, St. Thomas is following suit.
We think the provincial government is listening to us as a regional basis now.
All three are working together to try to get the tab for all 21 kilometers picked up by the province.
Today, we're going to take the next big step forward in that journey.
On Tuesday, Ottawa inked a deal with the MTO to continue working towards a Doug Ford commitment to take over the light rail system and Highway 174.
It's about bringing our expertise together on files like this, figuring out the challenges that exist, because we know that there's challenges, right? We're not going to hide behind that.
So, what about Windsor?
It's important to have local control and local flexibility.
MPP Andrew Dowie notes uploading the expressway would require commercial trucks get new permitting, and all development within half a kilometre would go through provincial oversight. Highway 174 in Ottawa was built as part of the Trans-Canada Highway and is more modern than EC Row, according to Dowie. As for Highbury, he says it isn't as developed and is going to get busier.
Its connectivity to St. Thomas and the Volkswagen plant makes it a key artery that probably should be protected.
Dowie also notes the province is kicking in more than $50 million to support that massive upgrade at Banwell and EC Row Expressway. The mayor has previously said Windsor would struggle to pay for that $110 million project on its own. I did reach out to the Ministry of Transportation as well as City Hall for comment today, Stephanie, but I did not hear back by news time.
Okay, Michelle Molesky with our top story tonight. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
A Windsor man will be sentenced to 2 weeks for bringing illegal guns into a notorious downtown Windsor apartment building. 30-year-old Daniel Garreau was convicted of 4 illegal firearm offenses for bringing a sawed-off shotgun and a rifle into 333 Glengarry Avenue, also known as Wheelton Manor. As his sentencing hearing is on Tuesday, the defense asked for a prison term of 3 to 4 years. The Crown, however, wants him to be sentenced to 6 years in prison. He will be sentenced on May 5th. Meanwhile, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers at the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel say they seized multiple firearms from Canada-bound travelers, including a couple of rifles, a pump-action shotgun, and a handgun, along with hundreds of rounds of ammunition and marijuana. The seizure was made on March 28th. Officials are warning travelers to ensure proper firearm documentation and leave illegal drugs at home when crossing the border. The Citizens Environment Alliance is criticizing the decision to have oil and gas giant Enbridge as a sponsor of Windsor's Earth Day event.
Given what Earth Day events are about, including highlighting urgent issues like climate change and pollution, we think it's wholly inappropriate for a company like Enbridge to be a major sponsor of the event.
Derek Coronado speaking on CTV's sister station AM 800 this morning. The city confirms it lists of vendors of its Earth Day events on Sunday at Malden Park, which includes Enbridge. Coronado describes the decision as especially galling in the face of the city's climate emergency declaration in 2019, pointing to Enbridge as one of Ontario's largest polluters. Neither the city nor Enbridge have provided a response as of news time following a request for comment. Let's take a break out there. Mild temperatures. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me for first a look at the weather from the top of the Bell building tonight. Gary.
Stefanie, it is indeed mild out. Over the last 2 to 3 days, I've been looking at the temperature variations. Of course, things get a bit cooler as we see the sun going down, but temperatures even through the overnights have been well above seasonal. A few days ago, we were in the teens. At midnight, we were at almost 17 degrees this morning, 16.6 just after midnight, technically. Counting for today. Not much to see on the satellite radar. There was a disturbance just to the southwest of us. It will stay stateside. Meanwhile, we are mostly mild and calm, at least through to about 10, 11 tonight. Sunny tomorrow, and temperatures still in the low 20s. The weekend's a different story. I'll break down that complete weather report in just moments. For now, I'll send it back inside to you at the desk.
It's a familiar wave of misery, nasal congestion, runny noses, and those frustrating, itchy, watery eyes, and it hits nearly 1 in 5 people. But for those in Windsor, it's even worse. New research says this is the toughest place in the entire country to escape pollen.
We have 35 years of data, and Windsor's always top.
For the first time, Aerobiology Research Laboratory based in Ottawa released a report ranking Canadian cities based on length of allergy season and the number of days with very high pollen concentrations.
Windsor ranked second for weeds, third for grasses, and fourth for trees. So when we combined all of those different data points, it put Windsor at the top as the worst place to live in Canada for pollen allergies.
Face starts to expand, my nostrils get all puffy, my sinuses start to get irritated, my nose is itchy, my eyes are itchy, my eyes get redder. I can't breathe, my chest movement is slowed.
Hamilton, Barrie, Victoria, BC, and Kingston also made the top 5 list. And cooler temperatures this spring are to blame.
Early pollinators like alder and maple and cedar sort of got delayed, and they're now in the air in Windsor. And the big highly allergenic pollen types like oak, which is coming, birch, and poplar are just starting or are in the air. So
this means there are more types of pollen circulating in our environment that are usually spread out over a full month.
When grass is just freshly cut, I get a whole runny nose, itchy nose, and runny eyes.
The top 5 Canadian cities with the lowest seasonal pollen burden are St. John's, Newfoundland, followed by St. John's, New Brunswick, Regina, Moncton, and Halifax.
As they live more in an environment that's rocky, they don't have as much vegetation, they have less pollen.
The report lists ways to manage pollen allergies. First, get tested by an allergist. Check daily pollen forecasts. Limit outdoor activity when levels are high. Keep pets out of bedrooms and off furniture. And when outdoor activities such as yard work are necessary, wear a face covering and protective eyewear.
At this point in time, no actual cure for seasonal allergies.
Do you suffer from allergies? That is our question of the day. Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you would ever run a full marathon. More than 600 people voted. 94% say no. The Premier now says the private jet recently purchased by the province has now been sold.
Second announced we sold the plane for the same price right back to Bombardier and said, okay, you take it back. But here nor there, it's unprecedented. Be very frank with you. You know, you look at the U.S. states, you look at any governor, it's just unprecedented. We have no plane now, folks. And what it was is to fly firefighters up. It was for Ontario Corps. It was for OPP when they have to send a tactical team up. And it was a multi-ministerial plane, Minister of Natural Resources, so on and so forth. But anyways, here nor there, it's done. I'm flying, you know, commercial, or we'll fly on the little puddle jumper that the OPP has.
Ford made the comment during a fireside chat at the Globe and Mail's Intersect 26 Building a Stronger Canada conference. The Premier had been facing backlash since it was announced the province had purchased a 2016 Challenger 350 Bombardier jet on Friday. Ford quickly reversed course, saying his government would sell the plane. However, he has continued to outline the benefits of having a plane for the Premier's office, including, as you just heard, using it to fly to Michigan for the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. A major residential development is being proposed in the heart of Essex, a plan to redevelop the former Home Hardware site on Wilson Avenue. It involves a 6-story apartment building, along with 3 townhouse blocks, bringing the total to 126 homes. Council will hold a special meeting April 27th to review the plan and consider zoning changes. Mayor Sherry Bondi notes the town needs to grow, and building within the urban core may be a better option than expanding onto farmland. The proposal says no additional green space would be lost. Residents can weigh in at Monday's meeting, which begins at 6 p.m. and will be live streamed. In other news, a longtime and familiar face in Windsor, Essex, is now sharing a very personal health journey. Former CTV Windsor anchor Jim Crichton is opening up about his battle with prostate cancer, hoping it will encourage others to get checked. CTV's Chris Campbell caught up with Jim earlier today and now joins me in studio. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie. Jim Crichton spent decades telling other people's stories. Now he's sharing his own. And as he recovers, he's using that experience to support others facing a diagnosis they may not even see coming.
Being a man of a certain age, I found I was getting up more often than I'd like to in the course of the night, and that led to a visit to a doctor.
A visit that led to a prostate cancer diagnosis in 2023. 2 years after retiring from the anchor desk. A familiar voice in local news, and away from it, Jim Crichton says there were few warning signs.
There was nothing that announced that I had cancer. I didn't feel well. I felt the same as usual.
Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer among men in Canada, with about 80 men diagnosed every day. Crichton spent nearly 2 years monitoring the disease before deciding on treatment.
Another 10 years sounds pretty good, but another 15 or 20 sounds even better. So that's why I decided to do something.
He underwent radiation therapy at Windsor Regional Cancer Center last fall.
The actual procedure was absolutely painless. I feel blessed as far as that's concerned.
Now he's sharing his story as an ambassador for the 2026 Show Us Your Brave campaign.
People in our community who hear the words, "you have cancer," they have no choice but to be brave.
The campaign raises funds to support local cancer care and encourages people to step outside their comfort zones.
When Jim and I first spoke about his diagnosis, he wanted to give back. He said, for so many years, our community has given to him, and he's been sharing everyone's stories for years upon years, and for him it was a way of giving back. And as he said to me, if I help one person, then I've done my job.
For Crichton, speaking out is about making a difference, one person at a time.
I hope if some good can come of this, I'm sure there's couples watching on TV, a man being there with his wife or a significant partner, watching the newscast and saying, gee whiz, if Jim Crichton can have cancer, I can too. So I would urge you to be screened.
A message from a broadcaster, now hoping his own story reaches beyond the screen. The Show Us Your Brave campaign media kickoff is set to take place tomorrow morning with our own Michelle Molesky emceeing the event. Jim will join 2 other ambassadors with the campaign officially underway throughout the month of May. Stephanie?
We wish Jim all the best and thank him again for sharing his story. Chris Campbell, thank you for this. A war of words between Canada and the U.S. as trade talks heat up, still ahead on Windsor's news leader. The sharp response from the Prime Minister. Drake's defrost. Later, firefighters are called in to melt the Canadian singer's Iceman sculpture. And what's next for Canada's economy and our area? Tomorrow, Canada's chief economist reveals the trends reshaping business in 2026. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. To the Middle East, where Iran has fired on 3 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz today, complicating efforts to bring the U.S. and Iran together for talks to end the war. Iranian media says the attacks were carried out by Iran's Parliamentary Revolutionary Guard. Iran's Navy says it seized 2 ships. All this coming after U.S. President Donald Trump said he would extend the ceasefire with Iran until Iran comes up with what it calls a unified proposal. The truce was set up to expire today. Trump also said the U.S. will continue to blockade Iranian ports. The attacks reinforce the dangers to traffic in the key shipping route, where 20% of the world's oil and natural gas pass through. Now, Iran's conflict is affecting travel plans. Air Transat is cutting hundreds of flights. Air Canada and WestJet are also trimming capacity, blaming volatile oil markets. As CTV's Jean-Via Beauchemin reports, some countries are running out of fuel.
At the airport, the excitement of travel is dimmed by worries over flight plans.
Well, we booked our trip a long time ago, and so thankfully we got a very good discount. And now if I was traveling, I think I would probably wait till after summer and see if things calm down and see what happens with the world.
Transat is canceling hundreds of flights, pointing to soaring jet fuel prices and a looming shortage in Europe. It says the changes represent a 6% reduction in capacity, affecting routes in Europe and the Caribbean. The suspension of service to Cuba is extended until October.
I'm just crossing my fingers.
Rebecca O'Sullivan booked a dream European vacation with Transat months ago for her 40th wedding anniversary.
So it's just, I'm in a state of limbo, and I'm sure so many people are in a state of limbo, you know, and there's nothing we can do.
Air Canada and WestJet have also trimmed capacity, while Lufthansa has cut 20,000 short-haul flights. United Airlines said today its prices may have to rise by 20%.
This is the biggest crisis the airline industry has had, bar none.
In Canada, airlines need to rebook passengers on cancelled or delayed flights on the next available one, departing within 48 hours. But that may not be a solution.
If there's no flight to go within 48 hours, what do you do? So refunds are the only thing in town. So there's a bunch of rules that are going to have to be looked at again.
And insurance may not cover other costs, classifying this crisis as an act of war.
Refunding my flight does nothing for me because I still have to pay, you know, quite a bit of money for my tour. So refunding me, I don't want a refund from the airline. I want to get there.
And as airlines pass on some of the expense to travelers, some say they'll just have to stay closer to home. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
A war of words today between Canada and the U.S. as talks heat up over trade. The Trump administration is reportedly setting conditions before CUSMA negotiations can even begin. CTV's Michael Couture on the sticking points from both sides.
They just treat us unfairly at every margin they possibly can.
The U.S. Commerce Secretary describing the trading relationship with Canada to fellow American lawmakers. And Howard Lutnick once again brought up a key gripe.
It is outrageous that Canada will not put U.S. spirits on the shelf. It is insulting.
Prime Minister Mark Carney pushed back on any suggestion that Canada has to make concessions to get back to the negotiating table.
It's not a case of the United States dictates the terms. We have the negotiation. We can come to a mutually successful outcome. It will take some time.
A prudent strategy, according to this trade lawyer.
I think where Canada is drawing a line right now is this idea that we're going to give away the house before we even sit down to negotiate. And that puts negotiators in a very difficult situation.
The U.S. has already outlined other irritants, including limited American access to the Canadian dairy market and the Online Streaming Act, which brings American platforms under Canadian broadcast rules.
We've made some counter proposals, which they're aware, and the time will come to really roll up our sleeves.
At the powerful House Ways and Means Committee, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said the bigger issue is that the two countries have opposing philosophies on trade.
They're doubling down on globalization when we're trying to correct for the problems of globalization. So those are two models that don't fit together very well.
But part of the reason that Canada is looking for other trading partners is because of the trade war launched by the U.S. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
To a story we first shared with you last night, an ice sculpture now set up to promote Drake's upcoming album is being slowly melted by Toronto fire crews. It was part of a promotion which has since finished. Fire crews were pouring warm water today on the ice structure to make it smaller, the goal to ensure safety and remove any hazard. Crowds of people and fans have been coming to see the massive ice block for days. Some were trying to use coal and blow torches to melt the ice. Others were climbing on top of it, which caused police and fire to step in and manage the situation. The fan-led treasure hunt revealed the new album will drop on May 15th. And we are now 50 days away from the FIFA World Cup kickoff. Canada, as you know, sharing hosting duties with Mexico and the U.S. CTV's Adrian Gobriel shares the rising excitement and the scramble for tickets.
The beautiful game has some fans calling a foul on FIFA for the rollout of tickets leading up to the World Cup.
I think we're seeing a sort of chaotic approach to ticketing and ticket prices, ticket releases.
FIFA has slowly released tickets in phases. Today's drop was sold as a last-minute sale to each of the World Cup's 104 matches. So CTV News logged onto FIFA's site this morning to try and land a pair of tickets.
11:05, we have an update. It says that we're almost there. Okay, it's now 11:35, and I'm being told that the position in the queue is secured. Don't move, with an exclamation mark.
So we waited and waited.
It's now 2 o'clock. It's been 3 hours. I'm not even halfway through the queue. I'm almost there, according to the website, but I'm going to miss my deadline, so we're out.
I think it might well be that we see high demand from domestic supporters, but whether it will reflect the sort of global support that we typically see at these tournaments, that might be another question.
The author of The Complete History of the World Cup, Rob Fielder, notes that some fans believe the phased rollout of ticket availability is FIFA simply creating an artificial scarcity in an effort to drive up prices.
It feels very cynical on FIFA's part and very commercial, and I think what they would say is they're trying to act in the best interests of the global game.
CTV News reached out to FIFA for a comment. They've yet to respond. A report released in the New York Times this week reports that FIFA is struggling to sell tickets for the U.S. Men's World Cup opener, claiming that as of April 10th, just over 40,000 tickets were purchased. The stadium's capacity is nearly 70,000. Though on this day, many of those waiting online to get their hands on a coveted ticket were left with less than a winning feeling.
Now, today's ticket release comes just as Toronto police are warning footy fans of potential scams. They're telling fans to use authorized ticket retailers as if you can manage to get your hands on a pair. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Markets on both sides of the border rallied from Tuesday's losses. The TSX rose 146 points. In New York, the Dow spiked 340. The Nasdaq surged almost 400. The dollar was down slightly for the day. Gold was up over $33 an ounce, and oil jumped to $3.29 a barrel. A new pink drink that makes cancer glow coming up. How it is helping surgeons see cancer and giving doctors a powerful new edge.
$15,000. That's how much your backyard upgrade could be worth. Wow. And that's powered by Plantscape Windsor. They are awesome. Head to ctvwindsor.ca with your photograph and see in no time if you're the big winner. Good luck.
The
discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
A very pleasant day outside. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather tonight. Gary.
Yeah, gorgeous. That was this morning early. I was taking my dog Dino out for a walk, and we looked up and thought, ooh, it's beautiful. UV index obviously higher with a clear sky, so we remember we had a chat about this. Sunscreen's important no matter what time of the year it is or time of day. Obviously, if you're being exposed to sunlight, we have to protect ourselves, or at least we should. Reach a high in the low 20s today, between about 20 and 23 in extreme southwestern Ontario. Obviously, well above our seasonal average at this time of the year, closer to 14 to 15 degrees. Air quality has, well, not been much of a topic of late. It's deteriorated just a touch. We're in the moderate zone, but the low moderate, so just be wary of that. Still holding at a very mild 21 degrees, that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, under sunny, hazy conditions throughout the entire region. Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, and the surrounds. We have talked about the warming of the southern prairies. Meanwhile, the northern prairies are looking at warnings and watches. Parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and much of northern Manitoba will see 30 to 50 centimeters of snow in the next 24 to 48 hours. Meanwhile, the lower Great Lakes, not much to see here. That shower and thunderstorm return that we're seeing from the radar imagery stays stateside, just south of the Michigan border with Ohio, so good riddance to that. Meanwhile, tonight is mostly clear. We will see increasing cloudiness Friday, and Saturday is likely to be a wet day and cooler. But for now, we are clear, if not hazy, through to about 8 o'clock. 19 degrees. Could be out on the patio at 8 o'clock tonight. Northeasterlies sustained at 10K with gusts in the 15 to 20 range, so that's good. Light breeze, comfortable tonight. Thursday, mixture of sun and cloud, high of 21. It looks like a beautiful day. I'll be on the scooter again. Please watch out for me. Friday, looking at some showers, and Saturday, wet. Look at those temperatures, 21, 19, then 14. So we are getting cooler. Sunday looks good, 17, a mixture of sun and cloud, fair weather at that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 17, 16, 15 as forecast. We're holding with mid-teens next week, which would be seasonal. It'll be gray at times and wet. That's a look at your Inner Care Styles 7-day forecast.
An Ottawa hospital is using a powerful new tool to help treat cancer patients. It's called the Pink Drink and allows surgeons to remove larger cancerous tumors. CTV's Sean Varden explains.
The Ottawa hospital has a new tool giving surgeons an upper hand in the fight against cancer.
It's known as 5-ALA, and it's a drug that is ingested, so it is taken orally in patients about 4 hours before surgery.
Dubbed the Pink Drink, it's now coloring doctors and patients with more hope. Once taken, the drink metabolizes and turns certain cancerous tissue a fluorescent pink. It means the bad tissue is highlighted for surgeons who use a special microscope and blue filter.
That tells us where the tumor is and allows us to take out much more tumor than we would normally be able to. It tells us where the tumor is, and more importantly, it tells us where tumor isn't.
I was very pleased that it lit up the cancerous cells and that they were able to cut out all the tumor and some of the meat around it to ensure that they got all the cancer out of my spine.
For Jody Stang, the Pink Drink made a better outcome, with doctors having a clear roadmap on what to remove, limiting neurological damage. But if you're wondering how it tastes,
I must say it was the most horrible drink that I've ever had in my life. But then a few hours later, they wheeled me down to go to surgery.
The Ottawa hospital investing big money to give patients a better chance. And while Jody's surgery allowed for precision in his back, doctors are impressed by the level of precision it can have while operating on the brain. Glioblastoma is one of the deadliest brain cancers, and Dr. Mohammed believes his liquid will improve the quality of outcomes.
The pink drink is one of those things that allows us to give patients more hope when they perceive no hope, and that is important.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
Hugs for Hospice has announced their concert lineup for the summer. Country star Cole Swindle will take the stage on the night of Friday, July 31st in Leamington with Poison frontman Bret Michaels on Saturday. He last headlined in 2016. Tickets are now on sale for both concerts. Hogs for Hospice is a 3-day motorcycle rally in Leamington that supports patients and families with end-of-life care.
It's strategy time. How are the Windsor Spitfires planning to take down the Kitchener Rangers in the Western Conference Final? Stick around. I've got the answer coming up on the sidelines.
It's time for On the Sidelines with Bob Belichico, and playoff hockey is really hitting up, Bob. The Windsor Spitfires open the Western Conference Final, and Friday night is Game 1 in Kitchener.
Can't wait. It's going to be a good series, I'll tell you that much. For the third time in the past 4 seasons, it's the Windsor Spitfires squaring off against the Kitchener Rangers.
I said it all year. I wanted to beat Kitchener, and you know, they're a good team. They'll be tough to play and tough to beat. But you know, I think if we play our game and if we play hard on their guys, and you know, I don't think they can handle it well, and you know, get under their skin, we'll be good.
Bring it. Windsor opens on the road for 2 games before coming home Monday, Tuesday of next week for games 3 and 4. Windsor beat Kitch 4-1 in round 2 in 2022. A little history lesson for you. They got swept in the first round in 2023, missed the playoffs in 24, and lost a heartbreaker in 7 in round 2 last year. A depleted lineup caught up with the Spits a year ago, but they are healthy this time around.
Kitch plays a really good style of hockey, as we do, and it's going to be tight checking, and you got to make the right plays at the right time, and we got to take advantage of when they're out of structure, and but when they're in structure, we got to get pucks in behind them and use our forecheck.
That's really good insight right there from Coach. Now, quick hockey update. Lakeshore Canadians dropped Game 2 of their Schmalz Cup semifinals in Tavistock last night, 5-2. The series is tied at 1. Game 3 in Lakeshore Friday night. In other hockey news, Tony Porowski, I think, has finally retired. He returned to the Essex 73s 2 years ago and led them to the Ontario final last spring. Taking over, former NHLer Matt Pumple. He's the new head coach and general manager. Mike Paley takes over as director of hockey operations. Next up, the Windsor-Essex County Sports Hall of Fame. Some of this year's inductees were introduced today, and as always, it's a solid lineup. Track and field multi-sport athlete Kamal Peterson, former Olympians Brandon McBride, who is a former track star in the 800, and swimmer Amanda Reason are on the list, along with former wheelchair rugby star Mike Whitehead. Ross Pettigrew and Egidio Noveletto will be inducted in the Builders category, while Lucien Gava, a great guy, receives the Bob Turner Award. And for the first time, the Hall is inducting a father and son tandem in the same year. David Tremblay Jr. will join his dad, David Tremblay Sr., a great wrestling family getting their due.
I think it's really amazing to share this experience with my dad. I think he's very deserving of being inducted into the Hall of Fame through all the coaching he's done in the community, the time and effort he spent helping these athletes develop. And then for myself, you know, it's just recognizing some of the hard work that I did over the years. So to share that together, I think it is really something special.
Yeah, a memorable night, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Westby Awards were last night at the Caboto Club, and I hear Italian soccer legend Alessandro De Pero had a very inspiring speech.
Listen, I think this guy is bigger than rock star Bret Michaels, who's coming to Leamington, right? Nothing but a good time last night, I'll tell you. People were captivated by the soccer legend. With the World Cup coming to Canada, Westby founder Don Papa asked Del Piero for his thoughts on who may contend for the championship.
Not Italy. Not only, no, I'm sorry. Portugal. Yeah, of course. Slow down. You're not winning yet. But yeah, you have a chance.
Portugal, we'll see about that. But too bad Italy didn't qualify. Toronto would have been massively crazy, awesome, if Canada and Italy had matched up. But oh well. But the record crowd at the Kubota Club last night drew in Del Piero. Were drawn into Del Piero last night. Phones up, ears perked up. Del Piero talked about loyalty and the work needed to excel in sports. And many rushed the stage after the show to be close to the soccer legend. It was an amazing sight. Now, aside from that, there were awards to be handed out. University of Windsor setter Marcus Lahis won Male Athlete of the Year. Track and cross-country phenom Anu Chan was named Female Athlete of the Year. Al Bernacki, well-deserved, finally got the nod as Head Coach of the Year, and his team, the Windsor Junior Selects, earned Team of the Year. Bernacki was honored, but in no way was he taking full credit for this win.
It's just been great, and 25 years I've had outstanding ball players that give me everything they have every day for a common cause, and you have years like this and they earn it, you know. So I've had the best of the best. I've had best coaches, best help off the field, best ball players. It makes life real easy.
Well deserved. Okay, over at Catholic Central, the senior girls soccer team won their first match of the season.
Yeah, it took them a bit. You know, two undefeated teams. Somebody had to win yesterday. So Vanessa Klingbeil scored 4 goals in a 5-1 win over Herman. She's not a club soccer player, and she talked to me after the game about how valuable high school soccer is to her and other girls.
The communication and like how you talk to your teammates, I think that plays a big role, like on the field and then like in the classroom on how like you talk to literally anybody in the hallways.
It's a good life lesson. And how about this? This is cool. This is Shafal Subaidi scooping up ice cream for the Herman Senior Girls Soccer team. They are still searching for their first win of the season. Subaidi tells us why he's doing it.
First game, they lost pretty bad, which sucks. I mean, everyone loses. And, you know, I felt really bad for the team. So, you know, the next game I came, brought them ice cream, and they were so happy. You know, it just made me feel good too. So I decided to bring them ice cream again.
This program, this event that we're running right now, is more to me. It's more than just a basketball run. It's giving back to the community that gave so much to me.
That's Windsor Lancer basketball player Johan Sam. He held a basketball tournament last weekend at the University of Windsor featuring high school players. The Brampton, Ontario native put it together because he is thankful for his experience here in Windsor and wanted to give back and inspire the youth.
I love that.
Isn't it cool? I mean, it just goes to show you, like, you know, he's not the only one. I talked to Marcus Lahis last night at the Westbys, and, you know, he said the same thing. His 5 years here, he's learned what this community is all about, and he's just kind of immersed himself into it. And, you know, here's a guy, Johan Sam, who decided, you know what, it was so impactful to me, I want to do something good for the community. And he's helping the youth come along and putting them in the right direction.
Yeah, agreed.
Awesome. And speaking of basketball, Detroit basketball tonight. At the Palace, or sorry, at the Palace. How old am I? At the LCA. Yeah, they need to win this one tonight.
Not as old as you think.
Old enough.
You've been using good face cream, Bob. Anyways, okay, that's On the Sidelines with Bob Belichico. Thank you, Bob. We'll be right back.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Celebrate Earth Day, Windsor, Essex on Sunday, April the 26th, between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. at Malden Park. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. Now, Melanie, the Windsor-built Pacifica is getting more affordable.
That's right. Stellantis is slashing prices, cutting up to $7,200 off the 2027 model. The base model now starts just under $53,000. Higher-end trims are also seeing significant drops. The company says it's responding to rising demand for practical family-friendly vehicles as SUV prices climb. The updated Pacifica and Grand Caravan are expected in dealerships later this summer. We've got more info online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have a story on our website, Melanie, with an Earth Day special.
Yeah, if you have empty beer cans in your basement or garage, now is the time to return them. The beer store is paying customers 20% more on each empty alcohol container today. The promo only applies to containers purchased in Ontario, returned for a deposit refund at beer store retail locations. The offer expires tonight when the stores close. And in our social spotlight, how about taking this to your next outdoor party? Don't be surprised if you're in Belgium and see people walking around with ironing boards. People use them as tables, as outdoor parties and raves, and they're light, foldable, and easy to transport. I mean, it makes total sense to me, Stefanie.
Yeah, it's complete common sense, too. I have one in my laundry room that I haven't taken out in years. So, yeah, good way to reuse it.
Yeah, no need to buy any extra items. Just bring your old ironing board.
Okay, Melanie, how can viewers submit a video for our trending segment?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. The happiest day for one little artist. A simple drawing sparks a very big surprise. What happened next? That's when we return. It was really nice, though. How does it feel to be back on your e-scooter?
Oh, let me tell you something. I am saving a bundle, folks. Okay, helmet, you know, the gauntlet, little gloves, protection, wrists. People fall off those things and get hurt. But as long as you take it easy and you're wearing a helmet, hand, knee pads, elbow pads, you're good. My scooter can move, but it's legal. It's totally legal, of course. We saw some green and blue there. Yes, beautiful blue skies. The leaves are coming out. The spring blossoms, rather. And temperatures in the 20s are certainly going to help that. We'll be 21 tomorrow and fair 19, mostly cloudy, but a chance of some showers in the afternoon. Still warm. And then 14 and 17 for the weekend. Saturday's a bit wet and rebounding nicely to a more seasonal Sunday at 17 with fair weather. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Looks like the average temperature of those 3 days will be about 16. It'll be cloudy, but those temperatures, mid-teens, are to be expected next week for this time of the year.
Okay, finally tonight, if you have kids at home, this next story could be for you. A 5-year-old girl's passion for drawing paid off in a really remarkable way. As CTV's Karis Map shows us, she sent some of her art to Buckingham Palace and received a letter in response.
The happiest day due to an unexpected regal response. Grace Connell, like many 5-year-olds, loves to create art and draws inspiration from the world around her.
I just think of something what I could draw and then I draw it on a paper.
So when the royal family piqued her interest, she began her research.
I was asking Mom how I wanted to know how old they were, and then I knew, but when I went to school the next day, my friend was there, and I drew something with her.
With hopes of the picture making it overseas to King Charles himself.
It was actually a drawing of a king and queen and princess that she sent. I didn't take a picture or anything of it because I honestly didn't think we'd get anything back. So I just addressed it to Buckingham Palace and put 6 stamps on it and sent it with our home address.
Sent at the end of February, Grace would then ask her family to check the mailbox every week to see if she got a reply.
After a few weeks, I'd thought maybe I should, use ChatGPT or something to draw up a letter and mail it to her on behalf.
An idea that turned out to be unnecessary.
She had asked to check the mail one more time, which reminded me I hadn't sent the letter. We went to the mailbox with my nephew, and sure enough, there was a letter addressed from the Queen and King, their correspondence, Buckingham Palace, addressed to Grace.
The Queen and King!
I was blown away. I was like, is this legit? Is this real?
And it was real. a personalized letter from the head of royal correspondence, thanking the young girl on behalf of the royal family. According to Buckingham Palace's website, the king has shown almost all of the letters he receives and takes a keen interest in hearing from the public.
The fact that it noted her splendid drawing and that the king passed on his warmest wishes was unbelievably touching for her and for us.
Meanwhile, Grace says her favorite part has been her family's reaction.
Like being proud of me.
Kara Smap, CTV News, Kitchener.
This is clearly so special. Parents like me with kids in elementary school, we get drawings that come home every single day. Why not take a few of them and send them out and see what happens? That would be cool.
Parents take pictures of those, right? Digitize them.
And I hear you have a pen pal story.
Farley Mowat, grade 6. I sent a letter, the great Canadian author, international author, and he wrote me back, and you could tell he used his typewriter and liquid paper because he had made it a little typo, then signed it. I still have it, and it's a cherished item. Lost in the Barrens was one of the books I had read that year in grade 6, going into 7. And I wrote him and said I enjoyed the book. He said, thanks for reading it, Gary. I really appreciate it.
Just to take the time out to address your fans makes a huge difference.
It does. And she got King Charles to write back.
Of course.
Awesome.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Carlisle Facette will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
I used to have pen...